And we are live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one, the only, and aloha snack bar to everyone in Spain. It's the Gorilla Economist coming to you live with my main man, the master of the flux capacitor, the producer extraordinaire. We bring you the news, the views, and all the information important to you. Check us out on roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money. And check us out on Rogue Money Facebook, Rogue Money on every single podcasting app known to mankind, Rogue Money on Apple News, Rogue Money everywhere. And I'm going to be writing an article soon, CJ, because I'm going to debunk, crack, and take apart this whole ACC chain BS. I'm going to lay it bare. I'm going to show you where people with the facts are wrong. Again, these are people with no international understanding on how things work, and I'm going to break it down. Because I am, CJ, the man, the international man of mystery. With that being said, check out our sponsors, myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us. You need to get out of debt. Do you need a better credit score? Or hell, you don't need to get out of debt. You don't need a better score. Maybe your score is like A-OK, you're peachy keen, and you need some money for some cryptos. You need money to get some gold or silver. Maybe you need money for those hot stock investments, or maybe it's a dream home, a dream car, a dream business. Whatever the heck it is, check out myfreedomnow.us. These guys can get you up to 600,000 unsecured. It's like winning the lotto. Unsecured. It's beautiful. With their network of 335 lenders. That's a lot of lenders, buddy. Check out
Tons.
mygoldusb.com. Mygoldusb.com. Surf the internet in total anonymity. The only way the NSA is going to find out what you're doing is if they actually sit next to you. You have military grade 1024-bit encryption, enough encryption to make Edward Snowden blush. And you can secure your Bitcoin wallet. You have messaging and email all in one sleek and slick operating system. MyGoldUSB.com. And I'm telling you right now, the Silverback project is in its final stages. We are trying to perfect it. We're working with a few hackers to get it all done. It is going to be absolutely monstrous. The Silverback is coming, folks. So sit still. With that being said, CJ, what is crack-a-lacking and exploding throughout the world?
Well, I feel great, V. I feel wonderful. I feel full of energy. It's just so unfortunate that the amount of negative energy around us is creating so much harm right now.
It is.
It's just unbelievable.
If people just calmed down, relaxed, had a dark roast, they'd feel much better this morning.
Yeah, they would, and just real quick also, because like I've told everyone, we do read our messages, in the chat room after the videos and everything, and V and I equivocally, we love Sean from SGT.
Yeah, I don't know where that crap came from. It's, you know what?
Yeah,
It's like
I
small-minded idiots that listen to 30 seconds of something and jump to a conclusion.
yeah, I mean, I consider Sean a friend. Just in our email exchanges, we have a lot in common. Sean's a friend. And we would extend, V, we talked about this the other day. In the event that we interviewed a guest, we would never, through that interview, just slam them or counter everything they said. We would extend them professional courtesy. We invited them to do an interview, but in this situation, you know, we didn't interview her, and we don't have to live in the new media in a collective society that we agree on everything.
No, exactly.
If we have to evolve to where we have to agree everything, that makes us no different than the radical left in this
Right.
whole collectivism, individual thought, individual liberty. So we have the ability to do that. So we can disagree on certain things. There's no problem with that. And again, the whole thing was just questioning this, exactly what you stated this earlier, this whole ACC, this potential SDR,
Yeah,
cryptocurrency.
I'm going to crush that thing. That is a stupid thing. But go ahead, Siege.
So no, I just want to close it out by just letting our listeners know that there's no personal beefs at all or anything,
No, none.
with we love him to death. We always
Yep.
will. And if he ever has an opinion that's different than ours, or our listeners do, or another media do, that's your right. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, you want 1,000%. Like I would never in my life attack another YouTuber Especially one of my boys, man. SGT is my, Sean at SGT. That's my dude. Him, Dave. I love those guys. I support them 1000%. David X22 report. Those are my dudes. Those are like family. Those are brothers in arms. I love them dearly. And I love the work they do. And I'm big fans of their work. My beef was the whole Lynette Zhang thing. And the reason for the Lynette Zhang is this, okay? It is a dangerous thing for a woman who does not know or nor understand how the system works, especially in crypto, okay? And to come out and start, saying these outlandish things, it's doing a lot of harm because a lot of people, number one, don't understand cryptocurrencies, okay? They don't understand the blockchain. Here's the problem, man. You got a lot of people with a little knowledge and a big mouth. And you see a lot of them in the chat, you'll see a lot of them in like the comment section. They're like, "Hey, you what you gonna do? What you gonna do with your big Bitcoin when the electricity goes out? Huh? And there's no more electricity." Well, what are you gonna do when the electricity goes out? Gee, dumbass, how about trying surviving? I think worrying about your Bitcoin stash is the last thing you worry about. That's why you have a paper wallet, dumbass, a paper wallet, and you keep the paper wallet. And then you hold on to it until the lights come back on and Bitcoin's back on. Why? Because if you study the blockchain, you dummy, you would know that Bitcoin is held on tens of millions of nodes and servers. You can't cut one off. Just because the power goes out in the US doesn't stop Bitcoin. You fools. Anyway, continuing. See, but again, that's an example, CJ. That is an example. Okay.
Yep.
And we, lambasted this woman named Lynette Zhang because she doesn't know her. Look, she wants to talk about gold. She wants to talk about market metrics. That's fine. Go ahead and have at it. But you start talking about cryptos, and you're making such obvious. Oh my! With AC, and I'm going to explain the whole ACC chain and the IMF connection, the SDR. It's a bunch of horse crap. And I'm going to explain it to the audience and break it down. And when I break it down, especially from the Chinese perspective, okay, because I work very closely and partner with a company that is the biggest player in precious metals in Asia, period. Okay, in fact, my business partner is holding this coming September the 12th a major investors meeting in Macau. And if you don't know anything about Macau, Macau is the gambling capital of the world. It is it is the place where money is in China. Okay, it is right across the river, or right across the water from Hong Kong. That's Macau. All right. So we're talking about heavy hitters here. Okay, we go to the LBMA meetings. My partner just got back from Switzerland. He's in Singapore. We ain't playing around, folks. This is real deal. This ain't like some dweeb working in some little U.S. outfit. So when I said, last year when we did in 1 month, in a month and a half, we did 110 metric tons of silver to the point we single-handedly, the firm that I'm connected with single-handedly affected the entire price of the physical supply of silver in the world, 110 metric tons, where we had LBMA refineries having to go out there and look for silver to fulfill the order. Look for silver amongst the Mexican and African mining companies that are out there that are mining silver. That's how much we affected it. Okay, that's a huge shift. That was us. Anybody who studied the silver sales in last year would have seen, whoa, who the hell just did 110 metric tons? If they would have saw that trade, who would have saw that deal go through where 110 was taken out of physical inventory? That was us. That was us. So we're not playing around. So we know both sides, the precious metal side, better than any of these jackasses. And the jackass, I'm not talking about Jim Willett. Jim's the man. I love Jim. Jim's the man. I'm not talking about a golden jackass. I'm talking about a regular dumbass. Okay, let's call it dumbass. All right? Or these small-minded peons who don't understand the way the world works. They don't understand China. Okay, so I'm going to explain to everybody the true role of the IMF, and I've said it many times. Okay, now, the things that I said about the IMF and Lynette Zhang and all that other bull was on Hump Day. Hump Day, and guys, if you subscribe to this channel, you know that every show has its own flavor, right, Siege?
1000%, V.
Yeah, the morning show, I don't curse. I'm a little zany and funny. That's how I typically am. But Hump Day is a silly show, man. It's just supposed to be lighthearted and fun. So don't take it so damn serious. Number one. Cuss with Gus, that is our raw, gritty shit. You're gonna get everything. That's like Eddie Murphy raw right there. Cuss with Gus. It's rated R. Trading Terrordome is another. It's not. I mean, it's another flavor. Hanging with Harley is much more serious, much more very analytical. And of course, London Pause. It's going to be a very serious, analytical, data-driven, factual-driven show. So every show is a little different. Okay, so when we decided to tear this whole thing apart, and Bix was notably upset, and I don't care what people say. People say, "Oh, Bix believes in this gold in the Grand Canyon." That's his theory. He says that's the theory. That's what I believe in. So what are you going to do? You're going to prosecute and make fun of him because that's what he believes? If he believes that. Leave the guy alone. Okay, but but look at the value that Bix has brought in terms of all the other information that he's given. He's given a lot of good information. Okay, now guys, let's be honest here, right? If this was baseball, what do you call a guy, CJ, that could hit 33%?
What'd you say, 33%?
Yeah. If this is baseball, if anybody out there can hit a 330, what would that be? That'd be an all-star. That's somebody who could who could crack a home run 33% of the time, who could crack a baseball 33% of the time. That's a Hall of Famer, bro. You know who has a batting average like that? That's a Hall of Famer. If somebody had a batting average like 30%, that's a Hall of Famer. So somebody's out there, they're giving you information, whether it's like 20, 30, or 40, or 50, or 60, or 70%. That's a credible source. You might not get nobody's going to get it 100% right. So get off your high horse. Okay, get off your high horse. All right? That's why I bring so many people here from different points of view. Come on in and talk. But when I hear somebody, CJ, who so doesn't understand at all, but yet is talking from a perspective of authority, I got a problem with that. I come from the strategic metals world. I come from precious metal. That's my forte. That's what I like. That's what I do. I was resistant to cryptos initially. For the first 2-3 years, I did not have anything to do with Bitcoin, to my regret. Then I actually, swallowed my pride and said, you know what, I'm really going to start looking into this. Because you know what, I had like some very close people that I respected highly that were really looking into it. And I said to myself, holy crap, this is the most amazing thing in the world. This is revolutionary. That's why I tell people, go read a freaking book. Blockchain Revolution. Read Blockchain Revolution. Because I'm not excited about Bitcoin as just a currency. It's just one vehicle. And Bitcoin could be the MySpace of cryptos, waiting for the next hot thing to come along. But the point of the matter is that blockchain technology is what I'm most excited at. And if you're going to tell me, oh, the New World Order is going to take over all the blockchain technology, you're a friggin' idiot. And you don't know how the blockchain technology works, period. Period. Punto final. Anyway, that's my take, Siege. What's yours?
V, I'm really kind of butthurt right now because you said small domestic U.S. companies, and I used to be in that crowd, V, so I'm kind of butthurt right now.
I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that, man. I didn't mean to do that.
I may even go post something in the message on this video.
Man, it's funny, right? So people people want to know who might, and I don't say who I work for because I don't need the company getting that kind of attention. I like, for sake of professionalism, I really don't do it. Okay. But, in terms of, where they're like, well, V, how big are we? Well, I'll tell you this. I'm going to give you some clues here, folks. If you know De Beers, which is basically the diamond monopoly of the world, we handle 75% of all the vaulting of all the diamonds on the planet. That's us. 75% of all the diamonds in the world are vaulted through us. Number one. We have offices right here in Fifth Avenue, New York. We have offices in Chicago. We have offices in LA, in Zurich, Switzerland, Toronto, London, Hong Kong, Singapore. Okay? We have networks and we have also, offices in France, Spain, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, UK, Turkey, Portugal, Finland, Denmark, Russia, Belgium, Austria. Okay? On top of that, we have Australia, Hong Kong, Jordan, Macau, Malaysia, New Zealand, India, China, Singapore, South Korea, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Israel, Taiwan, Thailand, Japan, United Arab Emirates, Vietnam, Then we have Canada, which I just said. Okay, we have a few places in Canada. We have it in Montreal, Vancouver. We are in the Dominican Republic. Okay, we are just opened up an office in Miami. We have again in Dallas. We have our office there. We have our customs broker's house again in New York City. We have our armored car division also in New York City. So we're all over New York as well. And last but not least, my friend, we're also in South Africa. Okay. We have our main hub in Johannesburg, Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho. You ever heard of a country called Lesotho? Neither have I, but we're there. Okay. Angola, that's another one. That's how big the freaking company is. Been around for 60 years. All right. That's who I'm dealing with. Okay. Period. So don't tell me about anything about, I'm working for Jimmy John's Coin and Carry, and I predict that the silver supplies are getting squeezed. Your nuts are getting squeezed because you're out of your league, buddy. Okay. Anyway, Siege. But that's the difference, bro. So when I'm telling you, it's like, yo, I come from the precious metals world, and I see how it is, and I see how awesome Bitcoin is. And this company I'm working with, my partner, who's one of the main guys there, one of the main guys, executive vice president. He's been on CNBC, he's been on Bloomberg, he's been interviewed multiple times. This company's been, multiple times featured on CNBC. Okay, well, my partner's like, yeah, Ben, we're heavily looking into Bitcoin. We love it that we're allowing our, our institutional clients, our sovereigns, and even our private clients to, have even their gold liquidated into Bitcoin. We provide that service because we have a clearing bank in Singapore. You got to understand that this company's done its homework, soup to nuts, with people that are far, far more smarter than any talking head right now. Okay, period. Far more smarter than anybody on the other. Some of the smartest people in the world looking through blockchain technology and saying to myself, and these people are sticklers. They're absolute sticklers for security, for secrecy, for all that, for privacy. They're big sticklers. And when they say, you know what, it's a viable thing for us to be able for a client to liquidate gold into Bitcoin and vice versa, let's offer that service. That's because they looked into Bitcoin, man. They looked into Bitcoin. They looked at the fact that it's completely decentralized. That's a serious thing, and people don't look at stuff like that. They want to look at some crazy ass conspiracy theory that makes no fucking sense. Excuse my French. Anyway, so residuals from Cuss with Gus. I'm sorry.
It was just yesterday afternoon. It's
Yeah, it was.
expected.
It is. It is. Sorry about that. Anyway, CJ, I digress, man. What do you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, obviously our thoughts and prayers to all those involved with, yesterday's horrendous crimes, terrorist attacks in Barcelona, just very unneeded. And it's just a shame that several in the MSM here in the U.S. side are treating this as an opportunity, yet still to try to push this narrative in regards to associated with any type of tie to Trump, just completely politicizing this terrorist attack.
Man, when I heard Wolfie the Blitzkrieg Blitzer, okay, little Blitzy over here, Blitzy was out there saying, well, what if the terror attack was something like they were trying to, it was a copycat. It was a copycat of Charlottesville because Charlottesville was anti-Trump. So again, they're putting this is an NLP tactic, man. This is like a neurolinguistic tactic where they literally say, "Hey, maybe they're trying to put the thought into the public. They think the public is that stupid, and there's a small percentage that is that stupid. They're usually dressed up in black uniforms, wearing waving Antifa flags, and the crazy left who believes anything with this whole Russia hacking narrative, right?" They're out there saying, "Oh wow, maybe that's what it's not Islamic terror because after all, I'm not going to think about Islamic terror because if I think of Islamic terror, that means I'm an Islamophobic, and I'm not Islamophobic. So maybe that's why that happened in Spain because they wanted to protest Trump, and he's probably a supremacist of some sort. And even though he's Islamic and he's from Morocco, he's some sort of a supremacist, and he's probably a Trump supporter, and that's why he did what he did. But this is a kind of cockamamie. Just to put that thought out there, CJ, this is what happens, bro."
It exactly is. And if you look at the language, if you look at the words that the media uses. Anyone can do this. Just for example, just go Google or go to social media and look at any post that's associated or related to this terrorist attack, and you're going to see language that is very particular. It very much tries to hide the fact that this was Islamic terrorism. In many of the language you'll see, they will state a white rented van plowed into a busy street, a white van. The white van took off by itself, and created this attack, They don't want any association with any type of radical Muslims, any type of narrative that's different, and the language is the same. Whether whether it's Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, they all try to hide the words and try to avoid the truth regarding this extremism that's occurring and needlessly around the globe.
Absolutely, man. 1,000%. 1,000%, bro. And that's the whole thing here. It is a failed immigration policy, and it's a big problem. And you're seeing it happening all over Europe, all over Europe. And you see even the population, CJ, the population is terrified to even call for what it is. They don't want to call it. Instead of going with a knee-jerk guilt, there's a serious problem here with unfettered Islamic immigration. Maybe we need to tackle it. Maybe we need to curb it. Maybe we need to put an end to it. Maybe we need to really regulate this, okay? Find out, maybe we should let them in, trickle in a little bit at a time, allow them to assimilate, okay? Allow them to assimilate, and then probably bring some more in. But not allowing these groups to assimilate is going to be, you're breeding a fifth column within your own country. Folks, remember what I said. Remember what I said. Immigration without assimilation is invasion. Immigration without assimilation is invasion. And it doesn't matter what country in the world you're in. If somebody were to immigrate to your country, groups, swaths by the tens of thousands, by the millions come to your country and they do not assimilate, that is a problem. And we're seeing this throughout the world. It is a problem. Okay? Immigration without assimilation is invasion. Anyway, see, just like what Harley talked about the other day, my friend.
Yeah, great show yesterday with Harley. He just very insightful. He really broke down what is occurring, what has happened. And again, we're seeing hopefully a calming situation where, heaven forbid, that U.S. generals are actually allowed to talk, with North Korea or with China in regards to toning down the tensions there,
Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely, it's a very, very important situation. I'm glad to see that you have a lot of the deep state actors out of the way in this situation. You're having clear-minded individuals laying out in close military operations, and that's the type of cooperation that we like to see, man. That's the kind of cooperation we like to see. And speaking of the whole China thing, CJ, what's the next thing? If China brokered a stand down with the U.S. and North Korea could lose these, it'd be counterproductive, you said?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we need to take a look at this because this is an event that starts on Monday, and the U.S. and South Koreans will be basically simulating warfare with North Korea, and basically this kind of goes against that the negotiations that was kind of asking for everyone to kind of taper back to calm down those situations. So we're talking about a span of 10 days where this is going to happen. And in the past, we've always known North Korea to fire off some missile or do something during this time period. So again, these military drills, these things are occurring. It would be nice if those negotiations, they were able to taper this back in some way to continue the de-escalation of events there in the peninsula.
Yeah, break that down for us a little bit, man. What are they saying about the whole peninsula thing?
Yeah, well, so basically, what they do this every year, and it's been scheduled before. So, again, these events that occur is that so the U.S. and the South Korean military will simulate warfare with North Korea from the 21st to the 31st. Now, the negotiations that took place were where China, North Korea, the U.S. came together to say, hey, let's have this period where we agree that that North Korea won't fire off any missiles, that the U.S. and South Korea won't be doing any type of these drills, these escalation of events that can lead to some type of incident, and that's the last thing that everyone wants. So again, these exercises that are occurring,
Yeah.
if they could be avoided just for the sake that right now tensions are a lot different than in the past, then let's do those things so that we can continue the discussions to figure out some peaceful method to resolving the North Korea conflict right now.
Absolutely correct, man. It's like what Bannon said. It's like what I said, Siege. Didn't I predict that there will be no military option in North Korea? Didn't I say that?
Yeah, yes.
And everybody was shitting a brick, man, in alt media. Everybody was practically crapping a brick. Oh my God. Nuclear war. World War III. This is it. It's going to drag China in. It's going to drag Russia in. Head to the basement. Grab your cat food. Ah. And what did I say? Nothing's going to happen. Because it's suicide. There's no military option here. And I've painfully, and see, you and I did this, painfully broke down the different scenarios of why nothing's going to happen. You'd have too much of a catastrophic loss of life. You can't do nothing in North Korea. It's just bluster. It's just talk. It's a good distraction. And I said it's a good distraction. And just like I predicted, and that's what happens. That's exactly what happened, Siege. Okay? And there's no easy answer here with North Korea. The best way you kill North Korea, you cut off the banks, okay? You cut off the banks that are clearing funds for them, okay? One of the major banks is HSBC. Okay, that's one of the major banks. That, you got to cut them off. And the sanctions, the best thing that Trump did was get the sanctions with the Russians and the Chinese on board against North Korea, because now, all of a sudden, North Korea can't export iron. They can't export coal. They can't export anything. That's how you put pressure on this quote-unquote hermit kingdom. That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's continue to, again, just quoting here from the article that China had been urging, and Russia had been urging the United States to consider a freeze-for-freeze agreement to reduce these tensions. And it's basically what Harley had stated yesterday, that in the event that if Washington and Seoul would agree to suspend large-scale military exercises, that perhaps I would give an opportunity, a window to discuss these things, and also, more importantly, exactly what you just said, just give these sanctions some additional time that has affected 1/3 of North Korea's economy.
Yeah, exactly correct, man. Exactly correct. Moving on, buddy, we got the IT aide Imran Awan, the Pakistani ISI, CIA, Intel agent asset, whatever you want to call it, has been indicted, my man. Has been indicted.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this break, and it's, my gosh, it happened rather quickly in regards to his the banking fraud, the charges. So great that he has been prosecuted. Probably going to see some jail time. However, I just hope this isn't just a smokescreen from revealing the truth of the matter regarding his involvement with Seth Rich, his involvement potentially with the hacking that occurred with the DNC, and in particular, that's interesting with this V is to take a look at how he was doing this. So basically, he was falsifying mortgage loan applications, securing all these funds, and then ironically enough, he was wiring these funds to Pakistan, and he was using the congressional bank that apparently I thought that Pakistan was an OFAC nation. I may be wrong on that, but I remember at one time I don't think that you could even do SWIFT wire transfers to Pakistan. I need to research that. So it's interesting to see how he was able to accomplish this. So it was a pretty good scale of money. So according to him, the funds that he was wiring for was purchases of real estate in Pakistan. I don't know how hot the real estate market is there, V.
It's a hot market, baby. Karachi's a hot market. And when you
and
it's
go ahead.
The real estate market's even hotter. You can get yourself a nice compound out there. I mean, just ask Osama.
Yeah, and I can't imagine the sums. There was one wire transfer, I believe, like 360,000. Another one that was smaller. I mean, that would probably purchase quite a bit of real estate, in particular with U.S. dollars. So, what was this money used for? If he did receive it through getting loans, who were those lenders, and what influence did the DNC have with this? But again, my biggest concern is that this prosecuted and this went through rather quickly.
Yeah.
So is this just an attempt to, uh, did he agree to this and say, yes, I'll. Yeah, be dropped. He'll be right back in. So again, another interesting story that's coming out. I'll wait for V to come back on. A couple other interesting things that I would recommend to go check out. He rarely does this, but Rand Paul posted basically an article in regards to the upcoming debt ceiling. And Rand Paul nails it. This guy is more right than wrong in regards to what is happening. With the welcome back, V.
Hey, sorry about that, man. I've been having bandwidth issues very weirdly. Since yesterday it was weird. Like yesterday I was about to do the show with Harley, and my bandwidth, man, I was watching it. I went from like 200 Mbps, 200 megabits per second, down to 12. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird. And Harley's like, yeah, somebody's messing with my Skype. I had my top guy reroute my Skype through an intra network, and then he looked at it, he goes, and then the his tech guy's like, somebody's messing with you, mate, and it ain't the Ruskies. So interesting.
Very interesting.
Anyway, you were saying before I got cut off.
Yeah, we can save some of these. Some of these are great topics to discuss, but let's save them for this afternoon noon show, because there may be some things through the day that may impact a few of these topics. So
yeah, let's leave the rest for the afternoon then.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it.
Cool. All right, folks, we're at the end of the program, and you can check back with us again later today at 2 p.m. Eastern, where we go live and we break down more stuff for you, and we'll have more topics to discuss. With that being said, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and thank you all for your love and support. And again, check us out on roguemoney.net. We are over and out. Take it away, CJ.